All right. All righty, guys. Hey, welcome to Guns of the 701, episode 3. And tonight we got a special guest with us, David Fedding from 1760 Sports LLC, a great FFL dealer right out of Mandan, North Dakota. Jamie, he's joining us. We're having a little trouble with his camera, but do we have your audio, Jamie?
You got me. I'm here.
All right, we got him. He's just, this little circle just keeps expanding, so you just have to imagine Jamie tonight.
Yep. I'm just a bullet hole there in the middle.
You can imagine any way you'd like to today.
Yep, there you go.
Boy, that could be dangerous. All right, so it's been a pretty interesting actually week since we were on, but I'm gonna throw a couple things out there. As you can see in the ticker down there, Liz Cheney got her butt creamed yesterday, and I just can't tell you how that makes me feel. Of course, as a typical liberal, they never take that as a loss. That was a win for her. And let's face it, she was a Republican from Wyoming that ran as a Republican only on her name, and now she's going to be history. So good riddance. We don't need another turncoat like her. And now we can put a pro-gun person in there in Wyoming. So congratulations to Wyoming for kicking her butt out and sending a clear message. So
the other thing, did she do some anti-gun stuff? Did she do some anti-gun stuff down there when she was in the house? I wasn't.
Not really, but I mean, she wasn't a great supporter. Nothing.
If you're colluding with the communists, you're probably anti-gun deep down, anyway.
I mean, she's on the January 6th committee.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. She's
that's almost like the Russia thing. So,
sure.
That's all I need to know about her.
Right. I agree.
And then the other big news the other day, when you and I were filling in on 1760, Rick Becker has decided to join the race. What, 1270? What would I say?
Yeah, 1760.
Well,
throw me every plug you can.
Yeah, he's present.
So Rick Becker has decided that he is going to run as an independent. Remember, Becker is still a Republican. And like he said, and I know he's done several interviews, but Rick is trying to adhere to the actual platform, unlike a lot of the people that are now basically telling him that he's kind of a traitor. And he's not. Rick is probably the most constitutional guy I know in the state legislature. He always rates 90 to 100%. And the only legislator that does that, when you get I lost my train of thought, but it's on the commitment to constitutional and conservative issues. And he always scores really well on that. So, you know what? Congratulations, Rick. I'm all in. I'll do everything I can help, and I know he knows that. And I'd like to see him make one heck of a run. If anybody can do it, it'll be Rick. And I can tell you right now, I'd rather have Rick in there than another tax and spend Republican that follows the tax and spend Democrats. That's kind of simple for me. Don't get me wrong, just as we talked about Kelly Armstrong here the other day, John Hoeven has been very solid pro-Second Amendment for the most part. I don't think he's as strong as Armstrong is that way on those particular votes, but he's been a very good ally to the Second Amendment. That being said, Rick Becker will be a perfect candidate when it comes to Second Amendment. So,
well, speaking about politicians, go ahead.
Oh, Rick Becker, he proposed so many different gun bills for the state. Some of them were pretty outlandish when I was reading through some of them. You could do nothing but chuckle. You thought it came with a comic strip. If that guy can make anything work for the Second Amendment in the gun industry, you really can't argue with anybody else.
Right.
I mean, what was that one bill he put out there? I don't recall the numbers. It's been a while. He basically said if you made it in the state, you let it ride. Oh, yeah.
He had a ton of them.
He had some pretty cool ones though. Like if it passed, it would have been any gun made in North Dakota was null and void to the federal rule, and
We actually
he had
got
some
Yeah.
that
pretty
passed.
wild ones.
Hey, David, we actually got that passed last session.
Did it
Um,
pass? I wasn't
well,
aware it passed.
yeah, what it did, Rick's failed the session before, and this
Mhm.
was a version. Luke Simons actually brought this one forth. It was modeled after the Montana law that went into effect, and we did get it through. So I was very happy about that. Well, now it's like we talked about earlier last week. Does it have any teeth? Well, that all depends on your sheriff. To me, it's definitely a states' rights issue. It's a 10th Amendment violation in so many ways as to what we have to do now. But if you make it, produce it, sell it to a North Dakotan, how is that any business of the federal government? And
Didn't you have to have it all the parts had to be made here as well too in that
everything has
bill?
to be manufactured, distributed right here in North Dakota. So it's just like the Montana bill that passed.
So what if we bought all the gun parts in 1760 and put them together with that? Or does he have to
Well,
manufacture? See, that's what I'm saying.
I think they have to be manufactured here.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
got
it
you.
was an entirety. Yeah.
That was the big thing. They were, they wanted to make sure that nothing came from out of state to make it viable. And you got to remember, little steps. That's what you could get past. We couldn't get what we wanted, so that's what we got.
Yeah, well,
And
I'm all on board with what due to the liberals what they always do. I mean, just shove as much stuff down their throat as you can, and
yep,
whether it means anything or not. I know when Bakken was mayor, I wanted him in the city commission to pass a sanctuary, Burley County, or I wanted a city sanctuary, Bismarck City Second Amendment
mm-hmm.
sanctuary, but I don't know. They didn't sound too keen on that. Mark would kind of seemed like he did, and Steve was like, "Well, we got one passed for the state already." And I said, "Hey, it doesn't matter, man. You just keep piling it on, and you can get it. I do not care. You have to do stuff like that because that's what they do. And then once to overcome something like that, then you make them jump through a bunch of loopholes to change it.
Absolutely. No, I think Second Amendment sanctuary counties. To me, it doesn't get any more local than your county unless you go right down to
Yeah,
your local townships, boards, things like that. Yeah, I do like the sanctuary county stuff.
yeah. That's I mean, we got the sanctuary state. I want it to dribble down to everything.
Yep.
County,
Oh,
city, state, county, city. Let's do it, man. I'm all board on that.
I got no issue with that.
So we're talking about politicians and Second Amendment here. We got to give Doug Burgum his due here, Clayton.
We do. I was just going to bring that up. So here it is, guys. This is the proclamation that, and I tip my hat to Doug. He actually did something right. And this was the proclamation for the Shooting Sports Month, August 2022. And whereas hunting, firearms, and the shooting sports are a part of history, tradition, and culture of North Dakota and its citizens, whereas increasing access to shooting sports and education provides opportunities to safely learn and increases responsible public participation in the shooting sports and hunting. And this goes on, guys. I'm not going to read it all, but
Yeah, you can
I'll,
find it on North Dakota State website in the
right.
proclamation section. But
And
I think it was like 30
got
some
to tip my
30. Yeah, there was like 37 governors or 35 that did it, and Doug Burgum was one of them. So, hey, thank you, Governor. I appreciate that. Anytime, I mean, as a leader of the state, I think you need to promote the Second Amendment just like he's doing, not just defend it. So I think that's great. And then, I mean, there's plenty of stuff I disagree with the man on too. So, but this one we're 100% in agreement. We lose Clayton there.
It looks like we did.
All right, Dave,
We
you
got
and me
the
are rolling here,
proclamation,
buddy.
and here we are.
We got the proclamation up there. All right, so Dave, why don't you tell everybody what business you got there and how long you've been doing it, and give us a little background.
Well, I operate 1760 Sports. It's a hobbyist thing for myself at the point right now. We've been doing it for 6 years now. We carry just about every major brand that anybody else does, just kind of the small feel. We try to make everybody's purchase a lasting one, happy one, and frankly, my biggest motivation is I'm tired of seeing people buy something and it doesn't fit, it doesn't feel right, and they're just not happy with it. That's my biggest thing is
Yep.
customer service. I always tell people, I don't have the $1 billion store. I got my little shop in my garage at home.
Okay,
So
where are you
when it comes
located
down
at?
to it, we're located in North Mandan. It's a home-based business.
Okay, you do have a Facebook page actually, because I do follow it and like it. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
so how long you been in business then, Dave?
6 years now.
Awesome. Okay, I think actually my boss won 10 millimeter at the NRA banquet last year. Was it not the NRA banquet? It's God, maybe it was that he came there to do his background check. I thought.
Um, I do a lot of banquets. I try to give back to the local foundations as much as possible. So, and
Did
whenever
you work that one,
possible,
the Man Down Friends NRA?
I have not done an NRA one. I've done a couple flashers. I've done a few NRA or not NRA farm bureaus. A couple fire departments already.
Okay.
Basically, I try to do anything I can with the fundraisers. That way, they can maximize their goals.
Yeah. Maybe he won one. I know he came over there and he came back and he was telling me about your business there, and I wasn't sure that I guess I hadn't heard of them, but it was around the same time. He's lucky, that guy. I think the only person who's won more guns than him is me. But so yeah, what do you carry in the store then? Just
Uh,
general ammo. Okay. What do you got going over
Generally,
there?
it's generally speaking, I got a few firearms on hand, a pistol or two, a couple of rifles. Like I said, since it's a hobbyist thing for me right now, it's firearms on hand is pretty thin.
Okay.
Um, I am signed up with Athlon as a direct dealer. I get some pretty sweet deals going on for our Leos and first responders, veterans.
Awesome.
So, best way to put it is Athlon is my go-to brand for optics. I do carry Burris and Leopold and so on.
Oh,
Yep.
Vortex, I don't carry Vortex. Some people ask me why I don't, and I just don't.
Sure.
So
What it was
the
Burris and
long story short, go ahead.
what did you say it was Loophole, and what else were you carrying there
I
for?
like Leopold, Burris,
Okay.
Citron. The
Okay.
big brands that I get asked often of that I don't carry is like
Sure.
Vortex, Night Force,
I
Schmidt
like
Bender.
I like Burris. I've been a big Burris fan for a long time, and I don't mind Vortex either. And I mean, Loophole makes I got the rangefinders and some binoculars, but I scopes. I don't know. I've always been a Burris guy for some reason. I think they're, then they got I like their drop reticles in there. Their Stadia on there. I
Hmm.
think that's nice. I just got one for the AR I built, and it's ultra clear, and the reticle it's that glass etch, so it's super clear, and it's a 10
Hmm.
power. I usually go 12 or 16 or 14, but I mean that thing works great. I got it on one of my ARs, so yeah, I'm always liking Burris, and I've always when I did have to have stuff fixed. I mean they've had great customer service and they're really fast. Not that Loophole didn't, they do too actually, but they gave me
Oh
some
yeah.
good deals on two of my rangefinders that went to heck, and my binoculars. But I see we got Clay. You back now, buddy? We
we're
dropped Clay
back.
for. Okay. Okay. Well, we got Clay and Dave, and obviously I'm having some issues here with the internet at home. So one of these
It's
times we're gonna have a
sounding
perfect show, Clay.
it's sounding good on your end right now, Jamie. But yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
happened there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna turn on my camera again just for a sash and see if it's dragging behind everybody. We'll see what happens here. But
Oh yeah.
who knows? Okay.
The thing with
I'm
optics though
betting
is
Bill Gates
It's a
and
little slow,
Zuckerberg.
but I'm sure. I'm sure. So hey, anybody,
the
hey, if you missed my ugly face, I'm back here for a
there
while.
we
There we
are.
go.
The thing with optics though that everybody doesn't seem to understand or doesn't gather is there's preferences. They all have their purpose. You have your tactical guys that want so many widgets in their scope that it just will be a Swiss Army knife. You get the common guy that just wants a simple hunting scope where they can see in low light for deer season, and they're tickled pink. So,
Yep.
and there's so many options of preferences.
Yeah.
I've used a lot of different brands myself, and I got a Burr sitting up on the shelf to my left here that I ended up taking off one of my competition guns because it just didn't fit the grade for what I needed it.
What kind of competition do you shoot then?
I typically shoot F class. I shoot mid range and long 1,000 yard.
Okay.
That said, I am not great at it. North
Really?
Dakota is a very
Well,
hard
you got to
place
be.
to shoot.
What do you go out down by the range down by? I was going to say
Moffett.
Minokan, but Moffett. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I ironically, me and I was talking to Clay about it earlier today. There's a 1,000 yard state regional on September 10th and 11th. So anybody that feels like they want to take a crack at a 1,000-yard competition shoot, look up the NRA rules for F class. Pretty self-explanatory. Contact the Bismarck Mandan Rifle Club. Tom Thompson's the contact point for that. Fantastic gentleman. I'd love to see more people come out because, frankly, I'm 33 years old and I'm probably the youngest guy showing up there. So
Wow, I was gonna say
Yes.
33. You're lucky.
yeah.
I almost got you by 20.
Well, you could come on down. You could probably have coffee with half the gentlemen shooting. Then
I tell you what, my buddy's a member out there. He does that. I don't know if you ever met him. Tony Moss, that's his name. He actually took me out there once or twice shooting. It's a hell of a complex out there. It's pretty awesome.
oh yes,
They
absolutely
got a big, nice
fantastic facility.
complex. And I can tell you that was
Yeah.
built. I mean, there was a lot of other money, but there was a lot of NRA Foundation, Friends of NRA money that went into that facility.
Yeah.
Just about every year they got some kind of grant for something. So we did our part to help it.
So speaking of long range, I think I'll just add this in here. I was reading it today. You're obviously, Dave, you're familiar with the Sierra Match King being being a long range shooter.
I run with 2156s myself.
Okay.
I've been running the Sierra Palmas this year.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, because I was just reading an article the other day. Outdoor Life actually
big old box of them right here.
Hey, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, Sierra Matching. They named the most accurate 6.5 Creedmoor bullet that's made. They did all kinds of testing on it, and I don't know. I shoot out of my Creed. I shoot 120 grain Nosser ballistic tip, which was pretty accurate. I mean, it was always under an inch, but now I switched to the all copper 130 grain Barnes. I haven't shot long range yet, but at 100 yards, I mean, my first load is with the 6.8 ball. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, the thing shoots 3-shot groups about the size of my pinky nail, and I don't have very big hands, so like Trump said, no problems here, no problems. Do we got the comments turned on here, Clay?
They're on. Nothing's coming in tonight.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of texts from my buddies. We're talking about reloading. Actually, the guy who showed me everything about reloading, Richard Franz, and he's watching us from down South Dakota. Hey, RF, how you doing, buddy? I appreciate you tuning in. Of course, Big R's back in. He just said it was good to see my face again.
He's a liar.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, but all right.
Question of gentleman's honesty.
Yeah, right. Big R's a pretty good dude. I've known him for years, and his daughter is hunting. In fact, she's got a buck tag out. We're going out weekend opener youth, and we'll see what we can do. I'm fairly certain we're going to get something, but if not, those carry over into later in the season. But she's been pretty lucky. First day hunting out there, both two years that she's been out. So
I was going to mention here, or interject. You're talking about the chats. If anyone wants to chat, it probably works best if you're looking at the streaming from one of the Facebook destinations.
That's kind of what I thought, actually.
Yeah,
that's actually what I was thinking too.
But hey, quick question, David. And maybe I missed it when for whatever reason the Gremlins got my computer tonight. But Athlon, did you guys mention that too? I actually bought a rangefinder from you, and you had to remember you had to talk me into it. I always said I was an optics snob, but I can tell you right now that is a fantastic rangefinder. I've taken it out now and used it a couple times, and setting out my steel targets. I mean, there's some range on that baby, and for the price, you can't beat it. So I gotta highly recommend that if a guy's looking for those products, go for it. And I know some of our Farm Bureau guys. They did a raffle, I believe, up in Oliver County, didn't they, with you?
Yep. Oliver County. They did one here. They're extremely happy. They were kind of nervous at first having a brand that wasn't too popular at the local dig stores.
Right.
But he said those tickets sold like hotcakes, and it wasn't the rifle that was selling them.
Oh, they had a heck of a package they put together. I mean, between the AR-15 and the optics, I mean, my goodness, what a package. I know I bought tickets, and I didn't get no phone call either.
Yeah, I expected to get one myself, but unfortunately, my phone call acquired the list of the winners.
Yeah. And that's another thing I got to point out, too, is David does a lot of this for us. I know with Farm Bureau, we've started doing gun raffles, and he's been handling the FFL work for that. A good friend of mine, John Reinert, which is a good friend of David's as well. He passed away this spring, so he's been missed. But he's the one that brought us all together, and now we've got David into our little family here. And you know what? Every time I visit that guy when I stop in, it costs me a lot of money.
Oh, we still give you the best deals I can give you, though.
I know.
Yeah, but it's money well spent, Clay. Come on.
It
It's an
is.
investment, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I love the
Yeah.
fact that it's a local guy. Nothing against the big box stores. I just as soon be doing business with local guys. With David, 1270. We got Mandan Sporting Goods over there sponsors that show, and I've been in there and done business with Brandon. So those local stores, guys, that's where it's at. Those are the ones that I can tell you right now, too. That's what the ATF's after. The small local stores first. They want to control them or put them
Yeah.
out of business.
Yeah, we were just talked about that before. That put ATFs, or the ATF has been putting the small gun shops out of business with like 500% increase since when Trump was in there. I mean, that's 500% increase. How ridiculous is that?
Well, David, I know you can elaborate on that. He sends me every time he gets something from them guys. It's like, really?
Yeah.
So, David,
it
what are
gets
these
pretty out of
guys
hand.
like? Are most of these ATF guys pretty decent, or are they kind of, bullish, or what are they like? I guess I've never met an ATF agent. I've talked to them on the phone, and they weren't real happy about Tannerite and the questions I had about it. But
Oh, of course not. You mean you're having fun and getting your America on?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Freedom
I
seeds.
yes. I gotta say though, we are, in my opinion, I think we're pretty gifted on the ATF agents we have in our area. I
okay,
think they
good.
are closer to our side of the fence than the other side. Um, I'm speaking on my own behalf on this conversation, not of my own agent or so on, but I really do believe that we may have an agent to work in our neck of the woods that is on our side. He took this
Good.
job because he doesn't want somebody else to have it.
Good. I love to hear stuff
So,
like that. That's what we need,
And I
actually.
got to
I
say
mean,
this:
that's
when I worked with the NRA and would interact with those guys, half the time, the Dakota Territory gun collectors, they invited them to sit at the shows if they wanted to, just to answer questions. And surprisingly, they did it. A lot of times, them guys won't even come out in the public. So I gotta, like David said, I gotta tip my hat to them. At least back then, they seemed like they were pretty decent guys,
Mm-hmm.
um, and doing the job probably for what you just said. They didn't want anybody else doing it that would probably be infringing upon us. They wanted to make sure it was being done to our benefit, and I'm grateful for that. I think that's a good thing in our area.
Well, you got to
oh yeah,
remember that Biden fired the head of the ATF. There was a black guy because he went to the what do you call the show, in the SHOT Show in Vegas,
Yep.
and moms
lucky
demand
guy.
confiscation and Giffords and all these made this big stink about it, like he's not supposed to actually be friendly with the gun manufacturers and gun dealers. So Biden, guess what? He fired. He pretty much said, "Hey, beat it
Yep.
without his pension too." I mean,
Oh wow.
that's how ruthless. Yeah, I can't think of the guy's name, but I did read about it and talked about it before. But that's how ruthless. I mean, Democrats are. People think they're for the little man. They're not.
No.
They hate the little man. And then and any alphabet agency they're in control of, which is pretty much every one of them. You're a
Yep.
bug. You're a bug, and they're the windshield.
Pretty much.
Oh
And
yeah.
I can tell you this: their idea of compromise is do it their way. That's their idea of compromise. Of
Yep.
course, my rights aren't up for compromising from any party, but that's
Right.
their idea of it.
Right.
Right.
And I can tell you right now, it don't matter which president and which party sits in the White House. These guys are ingrained in these alphabet agencies. They're like a little virus that never goes away. And
Mm-hmm.
until they start firing those people and cleaning those agencies out, those career long bureaucrats that are never elected, we're going to continue to have problems. All they do is they're kind of like a cancer that goes into remission every time a conservative comes into the White House. They just kind of sit there and keep their mouths shut, wait for 4 to 8 years, and then they come right back when the timing's
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. Yeah, for
Well,
sure. Now, Clay, did you get that email from GOA that now the Democrat Secretary of Interior wants to go in with the lead ban thing here again on public lands? Our
I
tax
did.
dollars pay to keep these public lands up, but we can't go hunting on them with lead. The thing about lead, we went through this crap in North Dakota, I don't know how many years ago, with this freaking guy who hunted with his
Yeah.
hawks. Oh my
Yes.
God. You can take a bowl of lead bullets and eat them with a spoon like cereal. I mean, you're going to get an upset stomach, but it isn't going to kill you. It's the gas from it that does it. It doesn't, I mean, the lead itself isn't going to kill you.
If I remember right, that guy was out in Grand Forks, North Dakota. So worked up at UND, didn't he?
Oh,
I don't
mean,
remember,
it actually, what blew my mind is it actually some people that I knew were buying into this. Like guys I knew that hunted their whole life, and I'm like, really?
Yep.
Why are you guys for real? You guys? I mean,
Yeah, I know. It don't make no sense, does it?
I'm like, your family. You've been here since the 1800s. Has any of your family ever gotten lead poisoning because they hunted deer and ate deer and everything and pheasant with lead? No. And I'm like, okay,
No.
why are you believing it now?
Oh, because
The
the
only
almighty
real
government.
benefit, the only real benefit to hunting with steel is you get a good magnet, and it makes bird cleaning so much easier. That's the only
That's probably
benefit to
true.
steel, really.
I mean, truth be told, if a freaking hawk eats some lead and dies, I couldn't care
Oh
less.
well, I couldn't
Pheasant
either.
eating scumbags, I don't, but
I mean,
they don't. I mean, this has been just debunked. How many times has this been debunked with the condors? They banned
yeah.
lead, and more condors were dying. They can't even hunt with it in California, and they're dying at a higher rate. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's
But we
not
have to.
forget that they were talking about deer. Go deer hunting, and you're going to pull the lead out of the burger and out of the meat. And
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
it was such a small amount that it didn't matter. It really did. You probably are ingesting more lead in your water, especially your city
Well,
water.
yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Go eat a bowl of bullets. It's not going to kill you.
Yes.
You're going to get a gut ache, and it's going to hurt coming out, but you're not going to die from it.
To take that further, who's taken the time to we've all shot a critter. I imagine most of the followers, listeners here have shot critters.
Yeah.
What was the first time you seen somebody look at a pretty jacked up piece of meat from the bullet passing through and go, "We could save that"?
Yeah.
Nobody doing that.
No, that usually goes to the cats.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. What do you mean?
That bullet
Cats
can
will
be
eat
made
that
out of
clean.
anything, and nobody's gonna eat it.
No,
Yeah.
sometimes I get a bad shot. That happens to all of us. And that piece of meat, I don't need it. I'm going to feed the animals instead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
And I can tell you this right now, and all of you guys understand ballistics and bullet fragmentation, things like that. Depending on what bullets you use, I don't know about you, but very seldom do mine fragment because they just mushroom up like they're supposed to do. I mean, when I'm deer hunting, that's what I want. I don't really want it to blow the living crap out of it.
well.
So I want,
I hunt with not like I said. I was telling you about hunting with Nosslers, and when I was hunting with 308, that's what I use, and Nosler 150s, and up until last year, I was using Nosler 120s and the 6.5, and hey, I gotta admit, those things blow apart pretty good, and I didn't find the core too often, but
you were
the
using
BTs are
were you
brutal.
using the partition?
new
Oh,
ballistic tips.
oh yeah. Wow.
My dad was like, "What are you using that for?" When he come up, I'm like, "Because you made it about 10 feet."
Yeah,
yeah.
will make a mess.
But
the BTs are definitely brutal bullets. I've hunted for many years with them, and I switched actually to the Accubon long ranges.
Accubon's another good bullet.
Very solid bullet. Been hunting with them for 5 years and amongst 6.5 and 7mm. And I can honestly say I've never seen a critter walk further than 20 feet if they didn't bang flop.
awesome.
And
I can tell you,
usually retention is good.
Deer and antelope, especially. I'm using Sierras. We were just talking about Sierras. I'm just using the Sierra. It's a lead bullet, copper jacket, and
You like to poison yourself?
I've never done it. No.
I'm sorry. Go on, Clayton.
You know
good
what?
luck if you lick it first.
I probably have.
Get your nose above the smoke there.
It's probably I would say a tie as to whether I'm going to get sick from China virus or lead poisoning. The chances are probably none.
Well, the first lady got it again now. She's been triple stuck and whatever boosted and whatever.
Seems like it's attacking Democrats lately.
The CDC just said that it's okay now. They treat vax and non-vax the same, so does it matter?
Yeah, all of a sudden it just changed from Well, most of us knew that anyways. I mean, you're actually better after you're not being vaxxed, in my opinion. So
I've never had the shot, nor will I get it. I think there's a lot of problems, a lot of things unknown. I wasn't going to be no guinea pig. There was
Right.
not enough testing.
A friend of mine, he's got a kid. They live in Commie Soda, and he's got a younger kid. I think he's in his teens now. He went and did his physical for baseball, and he's going over the questionnaire, and probably a third of the questions seemed pretty new. And he actually sent me pictures of it. He was taking pics of it while he's sitting in the doctor's office. And I want to say the medical physical had like 13 questions pertaining to heart health.
Oh, really?
Why are they
Imagine
asking
that.
this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of
No.
amazing for young kids, isn't it?
Yeah, I could see, some kids, I've had friends that had heart surgeries way well in the early high school age, junior high.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Some people have health issues, but
Oh, yeah.
why is this suddenly something on a physical sheet for the general population and 18 youth?
Good question. I mean, I think we all probably know that answer.
No, I'm sure we all do.
What I think's funny is nobody's taking their kids and running out. They approved it for all these babies essentially, and they're just baffled because nobody's running out and having their babies given a jab that we don't know what's going to do to them, probably kill them eventually, and they're not at risk. And now they're sitting on all these shots. I mean, can you imagine if we tried to apply that to our gun industry? Oh my goodness, an untested firearm. We're going to make you all get one. It could blow up and kill you, but the government said, and some alphabet agency said, nope, you got to take it. Can you imagine how that would go over?
I'll
Yeah,
give it a
those
go. I'll
are
just sit back with a remote trigger pull and give it a few.
yeah.
And thing is, the big difference is that we can fix that. Unlike these shots that are an mRNA shot, you ain't no fixing it. It changes your DNA for the rest of your life. So no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
I'm going to throw something in here quick before we get too far away from the lead thing here, which I'm fine with. But a buddy of mine out in Montana actually was on Don Jr. was out there. I can't remember which politician it was, but they had a long range shoot because my buddy Doug owns a long range shooting
Okay.
school, I guess, it's kind of his side business. But he said he just wanted me to put this out there that Brian Zinke, the former, like I said, Secretary of Interior, he's actually having one of these. It's a shoot reception roundtable with Zinke. It's Friday, September 30th from 10 to 7. It's in Emigrant, Montana, which I'm not sure what it is, but they got a suggested contribution of $1,000. But I mean, if you ever want to do it, 406-224-5801.
Yeah.
Zinke's probably going to win. He should, because he's pretty awesome.
Zinke was good in there. He was one of the few that you could work with and talk to him, especially about any issue,
Former
especially
SEAL.
this lead on the government owned lands. And
He's away against that crap.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
well, one thing we should mention, though, I know we talked about here a little bit, is we wanted to kind of get into. I know Jamie had brought this up, and that was the bump stock decision.
Oh yeah, yep,
Really.
yeah. So ATF.
Did you hear about this, David?
I've gotten so far from the current news on that.
Okay.
It's ridiculous
Jamie,
is what it is.
We'll let Jamie update us because there was a court decision recently.
Yeah. So ATF got challenged again in court. It was which federal appeals court on it was this Tuesday. It actually upheld the banning of the bump stock. So that's not going anywhere. Firearms Coalition and some other of these California agencies tried to sue them, but yeah, to make it short, there wasn't much on the article. I just kind of read it, and I don't know. I guess when it happened, I kind of took some heat from some people because I was like, bump stocks are cool, but I guess I don't give a crap. But it went exactly how I figured. I mean, if I was a politician, I'd vote. I would have voted not to. I wish it would have went to a vote, really, but it didn't. But yeah, I don't know. They claim they're going to challenge it, but I think this is like the second or third time that they've tried to challenge a bump stock ban, and it doesn't work. Which I thought maybe this one had a chance because after that EPA ruling where they said these alphabet agencies couldn't just ban stuff whenever they felt like it, I thought maybe this had a chance, but not so. So, I mean, keep your bump stocks at the bottom of whatever dam you got them or creek or whatever with the little marker with the rock.
Deepest, darkest corners of your prairie dog town.
Yeah, until you need it again. Yeah, the prairie dog
I mean,
town.
Something like this.
Okay.
Oh man, that's fun. I like that.
I just had to throw that out there.
That was a good one. I like that.
Yeah,
I found that clip from a long time ago.
Yeah,
you
we'll
sit
keep
there
that
and
around.
listen to some of the stuff that you see on the news and whatever. Talk about legendary stuff. Jerry Micklick.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. We all know who he is. Fastest trigger in the world.
Oh my goodness.
You watch that guy and
better take his thumbs and fingers.
Oh, I mean, the guy holds so many records, and he's just an animal with anything he puts his fingers on.
Yep.
I believe he did a video where he did a trigger race with his competition rifle against some guy that's actually proficient with a bump stock, and didn't stand a chance in the old place.
Yeah, his fingers. Yeah. Well, I think who's the other guy? The old cowboy from Montana, Bob Munden, right? He was.
Yeah.
He's dead now, but yeah, I mean. That guy was, I think he was actually like on a draw. I think he probably was faster than Michalak, but I don't know. I seen that guy on Outdoor Channel or something making some amazing shots with his 1911s and snubby revolvers. And
I love it how they take some video and then they'd show it, they'd slow mo it. And I mean, like really go slow mo so you could see exactly what he was doing. And talk about the training that takes. Wow. I mean, you wonder how many tens of thousands and thousands of rounds he went through to get to that point. But yeah, a legend for sure.
We definitely need an ammo sponsor to get that good. Yeah. Right. Oh man.
He's got that Bakken money is what he's got.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm just making that assumption.
So
he's got a bottomless fund.
Some of that Bakken money would be nice, wouldn't it? Guy could buy a lot of stuff. I'm talking oil Bakken, not Steve Bakken. So
I figured that. Well, we could take Steve Bakken money too. We're not allergic to any kind.
Yeah. Hey, well, like you said, Clay, you need some of that gas money, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta get some gas money. All them trips I made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking last night about, like I said, on a thing. This is guns and a 701. And there's a lot of people in the 701 who own guns and shoot bow and arrow.
Oh.
Or bow. I might as well just say like that. Bow. I'm a bow hunter. I bow hunt too, but I use a crossbow and I do have a permit for it. I told Clay.
Cheater.
Yeah. Oh my God. When did they come out? BC. Sometime BC. I don't know. 1700 BC. A crossbow's been around.
They've been around a while.
Yeah. Scott knew the exact date one time, and I was like, yeah, no kidding. But so, everybody thinks it's cheating and it's too easy. So what I told Clay I was going to do today is I know a lot of my buddies use compound bows. So what I want to do is set up a target at 40 yards. I'll even get the place set up. I got the target. We'll set up the target, and we'll see who can shoot a better group at 40 yards. Offhand, of course, because. I mean, if we're going to do it that way, we're going to go offhand at 40, three of my bolts and 3 of your arrows, and let's see who can shoot a better group. Because what I'm told is crossbow. I mean, you can just stack the knocks up like you're shooting an awesome rifle at 100 yards and drive tack. So, I mean, if I get any of my buddies or anybody who wants to do it, let me know, because I'm willing to do it. And then, I mean, we can go from there about what the advantages and disadvantages are, because a crossbow is not cheating. In my opinion, everybody should have a crossbow if they want it, or if they don't want it. If you want to use a vertical bow, by all means, use a vertical bow. If you want a recurve, use a recurve.
Because I got to interrupt you here. I had to look this up, Jamie.
Yep.
They're not. Here's from the internet, so it must be right.
True, 100%.
It's got to be true. But it's not clear when the crossbow originated, but it is believed to have appeared in China. And in Europe around the 7th and 5th centuries BC. And in China, the crossbow was one of the primary, here it comes, military weapons from the warring states. So it was a weapon of war.
That's why it's got to be banned right there. It's a weapon of war.
It's a
Well, I
weapon of
believe
war.
our composite bows that we're so proud of these days was actually a prime weapon for Attila Hun's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
military class. You know, they dominated the whole Asian theater that way with
Yep.
the
Well,
first composites.
anybody
Yeah.
seen Braveheart? The archers are back there launching long bombs at the front line infantry. I mean, that's a movie,
Absolutely.
of course, but that's really, I mean, that's what they did.
But it was
You know,
used.
the Romans did it with their archers until the swordsmen came in and really went to town. But yeah,
Well,
like
and
I
it
think
was
we said that,
progressive.
didn't we, Clay? Everything's a weapon of war.
Everything's a
Hatchet,
weapon of war.
a
I was
rock.
reading that. I go, oh, there's that weapon of
Yeah,
war.
yeah. Okay, so 500 BC then, right? That's what.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Michael.
I was,
Appreciate you listening, buddy.
there we go.
But yeah,
Mike.
so that's my challenge. Anybody, if you're listening and you know somebody, or if you listen to this later and you know somebody who wants to do it, let's do it. And then, like I said, I'm not doing it to belittle anybody or say that compound bows. I'm doing it to say we're on equal ground here, and I choose a different way of
Well,
doing it because of injuries I've had.
so here's what I'm wondering. I'm looking at my crossbow hanging over here on my wall, and I look at that. To me, all that is a compound bow turned on its side. So what's the difference?
Well, you got
Well,
a
the new
trigger.
bows are so fast now. I mean, a lot of your
Yeah,
crossbows are doing what 300s, give or take.
I know. And you look at the
Oh, no,
distance they're shooting now.
crossbows are up. I mean, some of them are 450, and I mean,
Yeah,
but the IBO on the recurves, they're up to over 350 on some of them.
Yeah. So wow. I
they've
mean,
been slowing down though. They're going away from that high power and getting more finesse, more feel to the shooter. So they're
If I get
these
another
big bows aren't
crossbow,
there anymore.
yeah, my crossbow's a 380. I actually think that's too fast. If I did it again, I would get one that wouldn't be above 350. But I mean, yeah, the modern bow, they got a trigger releases and sights
Mhm.
and they, I don't know. When I grew up shooting bow, it was recurves. Look your eye down it's kind of point and shoot, almost like bird hunting with a shotgun. You don't really aim, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that and get some video and pictures of the groups and whatever, and
absolutely. Run
I'll
because I don't
take you
think
on
it's
that
pony.
cheating.
challenge.
I don't
I
think
ain't
it's
worth a
cheating.
crap with my bow, but I'll give you a run for your money.
There we
Okay,
go.
see?
We have a
That's
challenger.
that's what I'm talking about. I did My neighbor and I went and did it once before bow season years ago, and I mean he's a big bow hunter, but he doesn't shoot it a lot. But I mean at 40 yards, I didn't. Our groups were about the same. So hey Trav, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Yeah, we're having some technical D right away, but we're here. We're here.
We're still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got. I mean, I never had mine go down like that. What the heck?
Yeah, yeah. So since we were talking about velocity here, let's should we go and talk a little bit about like velocity on like compared to 223s, and because they're AR-15s and 223s are the highest velocity killing machine known to man, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I think that'd be a
you
great
start
subject.
you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
packing your bullets with a wood dowel, and you might get a little extra out of it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go with we're gonna talk to you a little bit, Dave, about velocity on something. So, like, what do you think? Like a standard 55 grain bullet, your average velocity out of like a 16-inch barrel would be.
Oh boy, you're kind of catching me with my pants on. I haven't shot one of those in ages.
Let's just all right. Let's go. Yeah,
I'll
let's go.
ballpark 2800.
Okay, yeah, I would say you're right on the
I'd say
money there.
2950 would be a pretty fast barrel.
I would say you're pretty much right on with that. But what do you think the energy would be then for that?
Oh, I'd say muzzle energy would probably be, I'll call it 500 foot-pounds at muzzle.
Well, the 55 grainer we're looking at, according to what I'm looking at here, is 1,300 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle out of that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Boy, you definitely caught me with pants down with that question.
Okay. Well, okay. So, what would you say? Like a lot of people hunt with 308s, right? Let's just go with this first. Okay. What do you think the muzzle energy of a 308 with 150 grain soft point is? A muzzle energy.
Oh, I guess 150, so that should probably be tickling 20 2,800 depending on manufacturer.
Yeah, you're right. All right, there you go.
I'd
26.
ballpark that. I'd probably ballpark that 1,400-1,500 foot-pound.
Okay. Foot pound. Well, according to this chart, 2,437.
Wow, my force is a little off at the pipe, but then again, I don't shoot anything point blank that close.
So we got like the 270s are going like 2,800 foot pound.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at here, 30-06, 2820. What I'm getting at, so we were saying the 223, 556, 1,300 foot pounds of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
guess I have don't mean to cut you on this.
No, go for it.
My fundamentals when I think of calibers performance, functionability, I like to use a rule of thumb on impact force. So like my general rule of thumb is I like to see a bullet producing 1,000 pounds of force on impact.
Right.
So generally speaking, I try to watch that, like your 308s, for example. An average 308 should dance between 6 and 720 before you should probably consider letting it walk.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if that's a fundamental a lot of people use. It's one I use. I've never seen a critter not go down and on the spot or unethically shot when I use that theory.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad one to run with.
Yeah. I mean, if you get a bad shot, obviously it will. But I mean, I'm actually getting a bunch of messages from people here that they lost our feed and stuff. So I don't know. We're just gonna keep going here. So if you that's probably my buddy Trav said I missed it, but I see one here.
Jamie, that's where I went, guys. I was checking in on this. I saw that too. So we got them back up and running. I suppose that's when the internet kind of was crashing on us on all.
Okay.
Disconnected the feeds. So all of these should be back up and running now. So if you are still around, guys, you should be able to see everything and get your comments, and you should be able to watch us. Sorry about that.
So yeah, I mean that's part of doing this, I guess, until we figure something. I don't even know if it was our fault here. I'd probably not, but yeah. So the point was there, Dave, is an AR-15 with a 16-inch barrel, which a bunch of these guys used. I mean, I can admit it. They've been using them. You know,
it's an industry standard.
Yeah, that's 1,300 foot-pounds energy at the muzzle. A 270, 308. The 243 was on the list, but I'll guarantee you a 243. I mean, it's all your basic hunting rifles that the FUDs and the DEMs say you should have are over 1,000 foot-pounds of energy more. I mean, if you think, if you think an AR-15 does damage,
absolutely,
do it. Yeah, hit it with your deer rifle and see what happens. I mean, I've shot at a lot of prairie dogs, and I mean, you can blow them in half, and they'll go down the hole with a 223. You know.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you get a little popcorn show. It's pretty fun that way.
Yeah. We're gonna have
usually
one.
What I say to people is, you always I call it the caveman syndrome. You always hear somebody say you can't shoot an animal past X amount of range with anything less than a Magnum, and I usually kind of respond to it saying, I've never had a deer go, "Oh, you shot me with a 223. Oh, that didn't hurt. I'm just gonna walk away now."
Yeah. They don't know. And, I mean,
it's being shot by anything. Like saying you got to use a 45 instead of a 380 for personal defense. Everybody has their choice of calibers that they choose to carry because they have faith in it. And it comes down to, I've never seen a video of a store clerk defending themselves going, oh yeah, you just used a 20 gauge instead of a 12. Why don't you just give me the money anyway?
Yeah. I pull a 410 out. I guarantee you at close range inside a store, a 410 they'll do it to you. But 9mm, I know I hear a lot of people saying that, 9mm, you sit down to pee. I'm like, there's a lot of people worldwide dead, and a lot of dead gangbangers in the United States of America that would disagree with you that the 9mm can't do anything. Shot placement's king. And even if the lung blower, even if so, even if a 9mm, and I'm not saying that a 45 doesn't have more knockdown, 45 ACP or whatever, a long cold, they do. But saying that a 9mm or something like that is a poodle shooter or something, but I'm kind of getting off track of what we were talking about muzzle energy, but yeah, I mean, point being, like I said, your basic hunting rifles they have way more energy coming out of the muzzle than any AR-15.
Yes.
I mean, you could take, let's just say if you took a water cannon, shoot some water out of something at the same velocity as an AR-15 and see what it does. That'll peel you down to the skeleton in about a sash. You know, you get 1,300 water coming out of a hose at 1,300 feet per second, or
Oh.
shit, not that's muzzle energy, 2,400, 2,800, what we said.
Yeah.
But you know, Democrats don't care, I guess. But
No,
like I said, the fudge, you don't need
they don't
that.
care about they don't care about facts and things like that. It's all about how they feel and their end game agenda.
Yep.
Their basis is start from the bottom, work its way up, is basically what they're saying. You know, start with stuff that makes people intimidated. They have no basis whatsoever. You know,
Use scary words.
and look at California, for example. You know, they banned a 50 BMG years ago, and then Barrett said, "All right, we'll just make the 416."
Yeah, which is better anyways.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
Right, you got a better BC and more energy and everything, more velocity, and
I mean, not that any caliber's more have a good source of education here. Not that any caliber's more gooder, but when it comes down to it, if you're sufficient and you're capable of manipulating that caliber to your will, it doesn't matter if it's a 22 rimfire, if it's a 50 cal. If you're good with it, you're good with it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, that's the thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, I got crap for being a 308 guy for many years, and you know, that old sniper cartridge, that's like a cannonball coming out of there. I was like, I don't know, see that piece of steel up there at 500? I'm gonna ding that sucker right now. I might be able to drink 2 beers before it gets there, but it's gonna land right on it, you know.
Sounds like you're shooting a 45-70 now.
Right.
I got a couple of them hanging on the wall too.
Fantastic caliber. The original long range gun. That's what that is.
You know, speaking of steel targets, you know, Jamie just got done making a video with Axel that we got up. That was pretty impressive. He was using let's see if I can pronounce this right. The Zatava? Zatava, there you go. Yeah. And he was hitting steel with that baby. I tell you what, I was kind of impressed with that.
Well, not only that, Clay, when we went to the smaller pig, he actually put 3 in a row in the pump house.
Right in the pump house.
Wow. I think we ranged targets. Yeah. He's got a ton of them. That guy.
He's got these little, they got holes in them, and then behind there's a little flipper. He paints that red, and then he hit it. You can see it flip. You know what? I got to have some of them.
Yeah. For sure. Well, they make the coyote ones. He had the hog ones because he went down to Florida and he was hog hunting. So.
Yep.
But yeah, he when he had 3 in a row there, and I mean, I had it nice and clear on there. I had it focus in real nice, and I was kind of like, wow, that's pretty dang good, buddy. I'm pretty impressed with that.
I was kind of impressed
because he didn't have a rear bag. He just had, and I mean, obviously you saw on the video the like caveman bipod thing that was on there. It was on there with a cotter key and around the barrel and. Barrel harmonics be damned. He put 3 of them down. I think that was a 3-inch heart shot on that. It was a smaller pig, but
it was definitely a dead pig. There wasn't going to be no issue.
There you go.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, Mike Deakins, he asked me today about what a guy uses to shoot hogs with. I had to kind of chuckle in a way because, well, I remember on my first trip down there, we took a whole pickup load literally and proudly broke several restrictions and infringements upon our Second Amendment going across the tip of Illinois. So that was good. But basically, I told him I took my Swift. I wanted to shoot my gun that my grandpa I'd gotten from my grandpa, and I took that along with me, and I've had that forever. That's what I shot most of my hogs with, but 270, I've had that on the trip, 338 Lapua just for fun. We were shooting 300 blackout through the AR. I mean, pretty much, guys, whatever you want to shoot a hog with, you can do it. And I ain't gonna lie, more firepower is always going to be a lot more fun. But as far as getting the job done, about anything works. It looks like to me.
I don't know if they really care down there what they use on hogs, do they?
In Florida, no, it's wide open.
I mean, everywhere anywhere down south, they kind of just who cares?
24/7, hunt all day, hunt all night, do whatever. I mean, we got the buggy we go drive around in. I enjoy going down. That's why I like to try to go down there every 3 years because that's just wide open and fun.
Well, the thing is, when we called the place once to do it, and then they're like, "Yeah, it's $1,000 and then another $500 for every trophy boar," and we were like, I go, I was under the impression you guys have a pig problem. Well, we do. And I'm like, well, you're going to keep it by charging those kind of prices, dude.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
like around
that's
here.
something I'm curious about. Like when you went down there and you guys went hog wild, what happens with the critters? That's a curiosity I have. I've never done it. I'd love to go do it. But
Well,
where's the ethics on other than eradication of nuisance species?
actually, they're pretty good to eat. I shot a 250 plus pound boar, and those are no good to eat. You don't want them. So them become gator bait, and literally that's what we did. We fed them to the gators in the canals. But all them young ones we shot, we cleaned them up and then we chopped them up. There was a couple guys from town that wanted some meat that eat them, so we gave them a couple. And then we fried the rest of them up and smoked them. And I'll tell you what, that was some good eating down there. I I gotta say, when we're down there, we're pretty self sufficient at our little camp. The guy that's got the property, he's one of our Rax Adventure Team guys, and I can't say enough about old Chris Hawk. He does a great job. Then he comes up here and he'll go pheasant hunting, deer hunting, antelope hunting. So it's a great exchange, and he's just become a good friend over the years. So you know what, Dave? I imagine that if we wanted to, we could make something happen. I bet you might be able to find a ride. We
Oh,
usually drive it. Hey, there,
well,
Eric
I
Newman.
imagine we can get down there in a day and a half. We could probably manage that.
Eric, I don't remember. You can chime in here. I think we did it in 32 hours flat, didn't we? When we left here and we drove through a blizzard part of that. So it's I gotta
Coffee
say
sipping.
it's like 2,200 miles or just shy of it right to the place we go. It's a ways down there, but we just
That's a
drove it
hike.
straight through. Yep, and it's kind of an adventure too. I know, like Eric Newman, who just commented, he says, the hog was great, and he was. We had some hog, and we even brought. We were able down there. The landowners, if they have a nuisance gator, they got tags, so they had one that was kind of bugging them over at the next door neighbor's place, and that was a big alligator. So we brought home some gator meat too, and I can tell you this: fresh gator meat, that's some good eating right there. But
It
Eric had
is. I
never
always heard it
been.
tasted like turtle meat.
Tasted like gator.
It didn't
It's
taste
not
like
chicken.
mud.
No, it didn't actually.
Oh,
The
everybody
weirdest
tells me it
thing.
tastes like mud. They're like, "Have you ever ate a turtle?" I'm like, "Yeah, a few times. It
No,
sucked." And they're like, "Gators are just like that." And I'm like, "Okay."
nah, I can't say that. It was actually real good eating. I
I
can
mean,
tell
when
you
Troy
this.
Landry cooks it up, it looks delicious. But
It really was.
Yeah, you
Eric's
probably
feeding
lost
chickens.
20 minutes on your trip there.
What's that?
Eric saying that the speeding ticks are spendy in Georgia. Probably
Oh,
last
geez.
20 minutes on the trip there.
well, if
Oh
you
my
ever drive
goodness.
with Clay, you'll know that he doesn't much care for speed limits.
What are them? I can tell you that one was kind of spendy, guys. They take that crap serious down there.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think about it, we were driving a pickup with North Dakota plates. We were pulling a trailer with South Dakota plates. We got about 90, 100 miles away from home here. Hit a deer, took out the fender and the light on that. The license plate had fell off, so we threw that in the cab, and we were loaded down with guns and mounts that we were delivering. So that we might have been just a bit of a driving violation going down the road.
Well, you guys are Yankees. I saw the plates.
Yeah, it must have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
Wow. My speedometer, that was shortly after I bought that pickup, and I didn't realize whoever put that fancy programmer in there
Hmm.
was about 15 mile an hour off. So yeah, I'm cruising along doing 75. So I thought. They clocked me at something like 91 mile
Oh
Ouch.
man.
an hour. He was nice
Did they
about it,
offer
and I can.
complimentary lubricants?
I tell you what,
Yeah,
I can tell you
yeah. No
this.
kidding.
It's the first time I've probably haven't argued with the cop because
Peanut
91.
butter oil down there in
Yeah,
Georgia.
and then they don't give you your fine. You get a ticket and a summons, and then you call in to their system, and they'll give you what the fine is. So I waited, and
Hmm.
I thought, no, I'll call in. I got home before it was actually in their system, and then they told me what it was going to be, $570 some dollars. Like, yeah, I ain't paying that. That gal's like, well, you have to. I said, "Well, I'm 1,700 miles away. I'll fly over your damn state next time. I don't care."
Yeah, come get it, right? Come get it.
And yeah. So finally, she says, "Well, what would you settle?" I go, "Well, I don't know. Make me an offer." And we settled for $250. I was like, "I'm good, right? Great." Set up the money. About 2 weeks later, Didn't realize that Georgia has a special thing when you go over a certain speed. There's a super speeder fine of $200, and they want another $200. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So my name is still probably on their deal if I go through that county again.
Got a
Yep.
bench warrant. You dangerous man you are.
Oh
Better
man.
go around that one.
Well, that's what I always said. I'll just go around Georgia. We'll go over there. My buddy, see another guy. He lives over there, just across the state line in Alabama. That's where we stayed overnight on the one trip, and he has a great place, a little nice little pool house. It's a guest house. He comes up hunting. In fact, he'll be here. I think he told me middle of November, and he'll be doing some hunting here on the res. So that's the cool thing about our racks team. We got people all over the United States. So, and we love to take guests. So yeah, if you guys want to get away for a week or so, usually we're gone about 10 to 14 days on those trips, and we'd love to have you guys come along. Maybe hey, if we get going good enough, maybe we'll have to have a guns in the 701 trip winner, maybe, giveaway.
That'd be something, right?
Oh, that'd be a hoot, wouldn't it?
1760 can sponsor a pair of binoculars. We can sponsor the hunt, and
There you go.
we'll have to do some thinking about that.
Can I win our own contest?
Like I always tell everybody, your money's as good as anybody else's. No.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, it is just as green as the next guys or whatever. I don't have any Bitcoin, so you're shit out of luck there.
There we go. Yeah, but no, it's a lot of
one
fun.
thing in life. That hunting. Oh man, I tell you what, you get a chance to go out and go coyote hunting or go deer hunting or whatever hunting. I could spend hours. Walk half a mile, sit down, and sit there for a half hour. I could do that all day. I don't have to shoot a dang thing. That is the most relaxing thing you could do.
What'd you draw for tags this year, Dave?
I got any buck. I got a few
Really?
friends that cussed me pretty loud.
Nice.
They haven't drawn a buck tag in years, and
What unit
I
do you
didn't even
hunt
want
in?
it. What was that?
What unit you in?
I'm in 3D2, so we're Richardson east to Mandan, I-94 basically to 200 is about
Nice.
the area. It's pretty big.
There's some nice muleys over there. I don't know. The whitetails, did they get wiped out down there last year? Or was that a little more to the north?
Ironically, the little area that we hunt, that's all we seen was whitetail last year.
Wow.
We didn't see a single muley, and the year before all we seen was muley, not a single whitetail. So it's safer to go with the any tags because you never know what species you're going to find.
My unit, you have to pick one or the other. So, in 3B2. But
I
mean, I couldn't care less if I get a buck tag. I mean, I love mule deer and I like whitetail. So I mean, if I get a buck tag, I don't care. I'm not antlers are antlers, man. I love hunting them. I got a muley doe tag this year, so the Creedmoors. We'll see what that copper can do to the brain at about 200 on one of them.
Oh, geez.
We got hammered down here. We got hammered down here. Our whitetails took a beating the last 2 years, but mule deer have moved in. So we all got tags, me and both the boys. So we're ready to rock and roll antelope and deer this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
That'd be a great time.
You see any nice antelope bucks on your land, Clayton?
I'm seeing some out there, actually. Here's the thing. I usually see them in about 3 days before season opens. I guess that must be their cue to leave. And then they disappear. And you usually don't see them for a month. And all of a sudden they'll show back up. So, you know me, I do it right. I don't. That's just that's a whole other subject. When some of the testimony I used to hear in the legislature on these property rights bills, talking how all as landowners, we're just greedy and we do whatever we want. No, we don't. Yeah, you know what? I probably could have shot a nice buck last year, 2 days before season. No one would have known the difference, but I didn't.
Yeah,
because it's the same reason we don't go around and kill people with guns, even though we own them. We have morals. We have empathy. We're not the insane people they think we are, and so that's why it doesn't happen.
Well,
there is definitely some rancid landowners. Probably the best way I can explain some of them. Well, the majority of them really are stewards of the land. They do care about their property. They do care about the wildlife.
Oh yeah.
I can't even count on all my hands how many landowners I know that are, they're worried about ethics.
Yes.
And the last word out of their mouth is, "Don't screw up my fence."
Oh, and close the gate.
It goes a long way. It does go a long way. I was getting to know some of these landowners, and not 2 weeks after the season, 2 weeks before the season. I mean, Thanksgiving, give him a call, bring him a turkey or something.
I can
20
tell you
pound bird
this:
goes a long ways.
as a landowner, I get asked a lot, and I thank those people for asking. At least they did the right thing. But I can tell you this: I can only allow so many people on because I hunt myself. I generally, if my friends have preference over anybody. If we're friends and you ask, yes, but every once in a while, nobody draws tags or not, they're not coming out. And yeah, I'll let some people on. Like I let that couple on that had a couple young kids from Anokan last year. And we've turned out now we're getting to be really good friends. So that's what it's about. Just ask, talk to the landowners, shake their hand, and don't be a dick. And you'd be
Right.
surprised how many doors will open up for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I would say the same thing. I mean, we got one. I mean, it's getting tougher for me now because I mean, a lot of my friends have hunted there for years, which they're still going to. But hey, Austin,
Hey,
thanks for tuning in
Austin,
late, buddy.
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Austin's been out killing coyotes on our land many times. We had a hell of a shot on a running one, actually. What was that? What was that, Austin? 350 or 325? I took a few cracks at the creed, and then he got the air out. I think he missed one, so I was just going to squeeze another one off. I thought I had him, and it was kind of like that Kevin Costner movie when he had his arms back there on the horse, and the one guy, I got him, and then 338, there you go.
338. There you
There
go.
you go.
Woo! Then he dropped it off. Yeah, right in pump station, and great. It was an awesome picture too. Who took that picture again? That was a hell of a photographer there. But yeah, we got. I mean, some of my family members, their kids are getting older, and I'm gonna squeeze something out. We only got so. I wish I had 10,000 acres and I could let anybody I knew hunt. But it's not like that. So,
No, it's not. And we're
but a lot
sitting
of
on
people
about,
don't. A lot of people don't understand that though, Clay. You as a landowner.
well, we got about 3,200 acres. There's some government ground right next to us. You want to get interesting, have land that borders the taxpayer owned land.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys are great. I mean, I've run into some good guys, especially if I had this happen last year. Guy shot a deer over there. I knew that deer was there. I wish they wouldn't have shot it, but it was on public land, government owned land. I should call it like it's a taxpayer owned land. But they ran over on the mine. Now, I think he was a little nervous when he drove into the yard because I'm sure he's had a lot of bad experiences being from Fargo. And he wanted to know if I could go on there and get it. I said, well, absolutely. I said, it's dead. It'll go to waste. I said, I can't. I said, that would bug me more than anything. So I said, yeah, just go over there. I showed them where to go, and they went and got their deer. I mean,
Yep.
we're not all jerks.
Yeah, I mean, but people
Need land
just
in South Dakota. Your taxes are too high, man. When I was trying to buy that land to the west of me, I had every intention of selling the 213 acres that was with it in South Dakota, because that tax base, that property tax, was almost the same as it was on the 6 quarters in North Dakota. I was like, are you kidding me?
Ouch.
I think the main problem with public land is these people you can't vote out who's controlling the land. These are just another bureaucratic agency. I mean, if you actually had people, who looked over the land, who worked for an agency or whatever, that got voted in and out,
It'd
I
be
think that
different,
would
wouldn't
go.
it?
It would be way different. I mean, that's a big problem with me in public land. I mean, public land is obviously ultra popular. Look what happens in the Badlands. People are always trying to pull muley buck tags out of there. I don't know how many does Scott even get people asking him out there? Really, not much, really.
I don't know what he gets
They
for
want
asks.
access.
They want definitely access. I mean, I've got a piece here, but they can access it from the section line. But here's the thing, I don't let them go across my piece, because if I did, it would look like a damn highway on there, and I don't
Yeah.
want that
Oh,
across my
100%. Yeah,
pasture.
for sure. For
It has
sure.
nothing to do with I don't like them, although some of them take it awful personal. And there's the problem. And I ain't gonna lie, they generally are East River and young, and they think they have this entitlement, and
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know. I guess I was different growing up. I had my grandpa's place. Plus, I asked people, even though I knew I had permission. I stopped
Mhm.
in, personally asked them, shook their hand, probably had coffee with them, even though I didn't drink coffee. But
You got a peanut butter cookie I can dunk in this stuff or what?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Can't go wrong there.
to
No.
me, and I didn't do it the day before. I started doing that about now, saying, "Hey, I drew my tags this fall. In November is okay if I come hunt, and sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on if their family was coming home, going to be home, or they'd say, you know what, the second or last weekend, yeah, wide open. I go, sounds good to me, and I'll tell you right now, very seldom did I ever shoot a deer on the opening weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
if
hard
you're
for
on,
people to understand it that
Yeah.
I live in town. I don't have any huntable land, and I think the way that makes sense to it and relate to it is, Jamie, I'm not sure if you own a bunch of land or not, or huntable land. Clayton
yeah,
obviously
my
does.
dad and my family does actually, but
So,
not.
so
I
you do
mean,
have access to
yeah, it's
your
good
land.
hunting land. It's really good hunting land.
What I'm getting at is I don't think people understand how to relate to this. I get grumpy when I have somebody walking through my backyard
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
don't even
Oh
have a
yeah.
gun. And
Yes.
I think people have a hard time relating to that. If anybody says that they can give two birds about some person strolling through their front yard, let alone with a firearm, they're on drugs.
Yeah.
They have
Oh
to
yeah.
be.
If somebody walks through mine, I'll be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Or
Right, right.
Exactly.
And I think
what's
people
going on
have a
here?
hard time relating that to the farmer, the landowner, the rancher.
And now
Um,
just think of this, David. It rained a little bit, and they drove their pickup across it, and now
right, right.
I mean,
Yeah, your access road gets all ripped up. Somebody's
Huh.
in
you
there,
know,
I'd be pretty spicy for a few days if I had wheel nuts in my front yard. I'm not gonna
oh
lie, I don't
yeah,
have the nicest front yard, but we'd be hot.
yeah. Like I said, it's about respect. It's a two-way street. And then there, as with anything, there are landowners out there. My goodness, I've heard the stories of someone stops and asks me to hunt. I tell them where to go and get bent. And I go, why do you do that? They just asked. I said, now you're just
Hmm.
discouraging them from asking.
yeah. Well, I mean, you're not. It's a two-way street. You're not making the city
Yes,
people like you anymore. Then
right.
Hmm.
It's you know what?
it's
There's no reason to have just be cordial and nice. And if for me, if I don't have anybody hunting out there and I'm done and my tags are filled, 9 times out of 10, of course, I have certain questions I do ask them because I want to make sure I don't let a Ducks Unlimited member on there or a Mule Deer Foundation member because of the things they support. And I do not want to let liberal Democrats on there. And you'd be
yeah.
surprised how many you meet
Hey,
that
wait a
got,
minute. Is there any liberal Democrats left? They're all leftists now, aren't they,
they're
Clayton?
all leftists now. Yeah. I mean, it floors me when I see these pickups drive up sometimes and they've got a Biden sticker or a Hillary sticker, and they're hunting. You're not going to get on this land. You're part of the problem if you're voting for them. And they're not after my guns. Oh, they're after every gun,
Oh
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Clay, but hey, it's guns they don't care about.
Oh,
I
yeah,
missed.
The
I
FUDs,
think I
the
missed the
FUDs.
last episode, but me and you were talking about the what was it, the weapons of war ban or whatever,
Yep.
well,
and it specifically didn't ban weapons of war,
war.
weapons that were
No,
actually used in war.
was everything but pretty much.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
omitted
Yeah.
the Garand,
Well,
the
Clay and
most
I,
Yeah,
lethal firearm in history.
yeah.
yeah.
That wasn't even
Well,
on the list.
we were talking about the
Heck, was given
AR-15,
an
and I was
exception
like, that's the only thing that actually has not been a weapon of war until the
until
Ukraine war,
Ukraine.
and a bunch of them got shipped over there. So now, hey, they finally came of age. They're finally a weapon of war. The AR-15 finally.
And think
I
about
feel like theirs
this.
are different than ours, though. I think we don't have the fancy trigger choices they got.
You suppose they're convertible?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
oh boy. I,
Oh.
hold on, boys. I gotta calm down here. You got those fancy
Easy.
semi or
So
fully semi-auto triggers. Oh
Fully,
boy.
fully semi with a
I
banana clip.
I got
hey,
the goosebumps here of the ghost gun scares.
and here's I don't now. Law. Here it is, right here. I'm gonna pop it up here. There we go, guys. We got to get these
Mm.
AK-15 automatic weapons, guys. Got to do it.
Oh
It
boy.
blows him
Come
away that
on.
you can just walk in there, an 18-year-old, and buy an AK-15.
An
Where do you get?
AK.
I want to buy one. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
51. I should be able to buy all kinds of AK-15s,
Well,
right?
I mean, yeah. I want the AK-15 and the AR-47. Come on.
So now that you put that up, it reminded me of something I just saw the other day. I mean, this is from a while back. It's from, Martin Sheen. He plays remember the West Wing, that show? I never did watch
I
any
never
of
did
it.
watch it, but yeah.
So I found this this deal on him, and it was after I can't remember what shooting it was here, one of these scumbags went, but he was mad at Trump, and he said JFK, unlike Trump, would have confronted those bastards at the NRA over the gun crisis. And I was like, you do realize JFK was a lifetime NRA member, and he actually had a Stoner. I don't know if Stoner presented it to him, but the Armalite, he had an Armalite 15. There's a
Yes,
picture
he
of him
did.
somewhere in the White House holding it, and he thought
Yeah.
it was. I mean, and if you read quotes from Kennedy about the militia, I mean, he actually understood that the militia was the people, and we needed the militia to keep. I mean, he was a World War II veteran, for Christ's sake.
Kennedy was a strong supporter of the Second Amendment.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's because
yeah.
back then it was the Democrat Party, not the Communist Party.
So yeah, but he confronted those bastards at the NRA over.
Yeah.
I mean, what has the
Not,
NRA done that's been bastard? I mean,
Nothing. But they take the blame.
I'm not a big history buff, but wasn't Kennedy quoted for saying communism is nothing but a generation away?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of his quotes, I believe?
That was Reagan, actually, not Kennedy.
Was it Reagan? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and
So
honestly, a lot of
are
them
too
said it.
off.
Look what Kennedy did to the communists down in Cuba.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had no love for him, did he?
No.
I mean, they tried to take out Castro, it just didn't work. But
Zidane, he bends over, kneels down for him.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't think it could get worse than O'Dummer, but I was wrong.
I did. I just saw Putin said he's looking for allies down in Latin America now to sell top-notch weapons to, because now he's like, hey, what are they going to do?
That.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Probably go over to Afghanistan and pick up some of our stuff we left behind too.
I'm sure he's sharing it with them.
Oh, is it the Al Qaeda or who is it that took over? That said, "Oh yeah, we're not doing this equal gender thing anymore now."
Imagine.
That seems like it's working real good.
Yeah, well, they said Al Qaeda's back anyways now too, so they're all back. They come out. It's just like you kill weeds out for 20 years, you turn your soil over, they pop up. They're always around.
Yeah. So, okay, I gotta throw this out here, Jamie.
Yep.
We were talking about last night about Amazon driver and
happy
ending. So we better hit on that.
I mean, we're already at ending for us.
Yeah, let's do that. That's always
okay.
Just kind of cheers you up when you hear.
You want me to find one, or you want me to go with this Amazon driver?
I think the Amazon driver is the happy ending of this week, isn't he?
Okay. Well, we're not. I don't have a big list of stuff, so you guys are just gonna have to hang tight for one satchel. I find this story, because this is how it works when you're doing what is it called, non-terrestrial radio? What do we call it?
Shooting from the hip radio.
Yeah, I enjoy sitting in on the radio too, but this is fun because I'm in my house and just chilling with you guys and people watching. So, okay, so the story is: armed Amazon driver defends himself. Now he's out of work. This is from August 13th, 2022.
Yep. I suppose he's supposed to just get dead instead, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So here's a story, and I always feel like I sound like an idiot reading on this stuff, but I have to do it. So okay. So an Amazon delivery driver is not facing any charges after he shot a knife-wielding man on Sunday. The driver, Gino Grove, was out on his route when the suspect, Chris Roberts, walked up to him with a knife. Obviously, he, in quotes, Grove, was in fear, explained Middleton Police Chief David Burke. So in defense of himself, he was able to discharge a firearm, striking the crazed scumbag in the leg. I changed the verbiage there a little bit. The police report shows Roberts was suspected of being under the influence of drugs when he confronted the Amazon driver. Officers were investigating the shooting to determine if it was done in self-defense when Roberts walked out of the hospital. So the good news, the happy ending of the story is nothing happened to the driver. The guy pulled a knife on him. He was obviously on drugs. He wanted to steal the guy's cargo. I mean, that's the thing for sure. Right?
Oh,
Dave,
yeah,
you read stories about that. I mean, they don't care what's in there. They steal it and sell it. But luckily, this Amazon driver had a gun, shot the guy, stopped him, but he loses his damn job for defending his life. I mean, that defies common sense to me, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. That's something that crosses my mind often. A little more about my own story is I do drive truck over the road. That's, like I said, this 1760 Sports at this point is a hobbyist thing. That does cross a lot of lines. You go to these neighborhoods you're not familiar with. You go to these warehouses that don't have security. You go to a lot of places where you're not exactly in the Hamptons. You see people that you don't leave your truck at night. You don't stray far from your truck at night, let alone in the middle of the afternoon in some places. And the ongoing argument amongst a lot of waterheads is, you can't have a firearm in a commercial vehicle. There's no law where you can't have a firearm in a commercial vehicle, and you'd be surprised how many state patrol in various states
that
still
think that.
believe that. And you ask them, well, dig out your book and show me. They
Yep.
really like that when you want actual proof of their enforcement. But
Yeah,
that
they
said,
get a little
there's a lot of Johnny laws out there. For the truckers out there that want to say, oh, that's a law. No, it's not.
No, it's
Um,
not.
it comes down to the basics of if you yourself possess a legal tendered permit that has reciprocity in the state you're traveling through or to, make sure your permits are legal. I had a friend of mine. He traveled all over the country. He thought it'd be fun to hunt in every state he went to. He built a big old binder called every BCI and found out what their local law was. Via, did it have to be a firearm stored in a secure place? Did the ammunition have to be somewhere separate? I mean, he had a 2-inch binder with probably 35 states in it
Wow.
that he knew what he could legally travel with, how he had to store it, and what it went through to go through and get.
So, Dave, I got a question here. I don't want to cut you off, but Austin wants to know what states are against personal firearm and commercial vehicle. Is it legal in North Dakota
None.
without concealed?
They're basically North Dakota drivers. If you look at the reciprocity laws, pull up whatever website that lists them. That's the rule. A commercial vehicle has no tangibility to your Second Amendment rights.
So you can have one in there, but it's more or less of a, like if you worked for a trucking company, it'd be more or less their policy,
company
like
policy.
It was Amazon's.
Yep.
Okay.
Company policy.
Okay. So I'm going to give the store manager in Indiana a ton of credit for not saying anything bad about the guy who shot him. But this Amazon company would fire a guy for I mean, really, why would you just, like, he's supposed to sit there and get stabbed or take on a guy with a knife with his hands, like he's whatever?
Oh,
Steven
it's just a
Seagal
great
in a movie or something.
Yeah.
It's just a great example as to why everyone thinks these, like Amazon. Oh, this is a great company, right? They do this, and this. No, they're not. They don't give a crap about their employees.
No.
Obviously, to make a woke point and support the right thing in their mind, they would just soon the guy get killed, and then they can say, "See, we don't have nobody carrying firearms." That makes sense, don't it?
I
And then
think
they'd
it comes
call for
down
gun
to a
control.
lawsuit.
What's that?
I think it follows up to the lawsuit.
Yes.
If as an employee of and acting under duty of, then there's probably argument that the business itself is endorsing, condoning, and allowing a dangerous thing to happen, which is pretty foolish, really.
Well, I did that in Bismarck. That's why I don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Is right on their door they had the big sticker there, no firearms or weapons allowed. So I asked for the manager and asked them, so are you guys going to take responsibility then for my protection if somebody comes in here and kills me or pulls a gun on me or harms me? And they go, well, what do you mean? I go, well, if you ain't going to allow me to defend myself, then obviously you're taking the responsibility in case someone would do that. This manager's like, well, who would do that? I go, oh, I don't know, a crazy man who decided he's going to flip out, and you took my right to protect myself, so it's your fault. And if I die, my family should sue you then for liability, right? She was just in bewilderment.
Well, most of them are waterheads, like Dave called them. I'm actually going to steal that for when I do range videos, Dave. I'm going to call my jugs waterheads from now on. I like that.
There you go. You know what makes you really smile though is when you go to some of these establishments. And Buffalo Wild Wings is the example we're using today. When you look into the employee parking area and you see SIG and Vortex and CZ and you name it, almost every gun manufacturer that makes a legitimate pistol, you know damn well the cook's packing.
Wow.
So that's one of the things that's one of the things I struggle with stuff like that, when there's good people that work at places like that, and I'm like, I want to support the people working there because it's probably a corporate decision. I mean, like there is, like,
it is a corporate.
I guarantee you though, Clay, that manager she's a waterhead. She didn't know any better. But
She had no clue what I was
But
talking about. That
yeah.
went over her head when I started asking the question.
Yeah, I mean, I called both of the mall managers years ago and asked them Kirkwood and Gateway, and they're like, "Well, why would you want that?" It was the same thing like you said, and I'm like, "Well, if somebody starts shooting, what am I supposed to do?"
Yeah,
You know?
like we just saw here, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Elijah, they're down Indiana, took him out
Yeah.
at 40 whatever yards.
And that was in a mall that had, of
That's a
course,
poke.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I actually tried it with my carry gun, and I hadn't shot it in a while, which I'm glad I did try it because I needed to practice with it, and I thought I was good. I'm gonna be honest with you. The silhouette with my my 3-inch barrel, I didn't hit that sucker once at 40 yards. I had to pull out I had to pull out my 5-inch, and I was gonging it, and my buddy was there, and I was like, wow, that sucks. You know. So when he got 8 out of 10, what was that? What's the barrel on a Sig P3 365? That's like 3.2 or something.
3.3, I think.
Yeah, it's about like my Ruger. I got a LC9S. I have 2 of them actually, but you know, I got it down pretty good after. I was Clay in the video. I was wailing on it pretty good at 12 yards. I was like, you know,
I just had a message.
Redeem myself.
I just had a message come in personally. They said that the Guns and 701 YouTube wasn't streaming, so I went in there and checked it, and for whatever reason, it dropped it. It's back up and running now. It says so. I'm sure we're getting kind of close to the end here, but if you want to tune in, go for it.
I would just say,
that.
I've kind of felt like we should have went long because we were having difficulties right away, and I kind of wanted, for lack of a better term, I wanted people to get their money's worth here. And I mean,
I'm not sure why it was dropping it.
Yeah, I didn't either, but Clay's having problems, and I was having it. I mean, it's a little herky, 3.1 inches. Austin said,
there you go.
Yeah. Awesome, thanks, Austin.
You know, I don't fish a lot, but it seems like it's a pretty long measurement there, 3.1.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy to me? My mom's got a Ruger. What is it? The revolver. What's their common revolver there? SP 101 or something.
Oh, SP 101. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were shooting that out at the fact you were talking about Oliver County gun range. When she got it, we went out and shot it, and I was shocked at how accurate that thing was with that short barrel. I mean, we were at 20 yards, and my mom's probably didn't shoot but pistol twice in her life before that, and she was shooting like fist-sized groups at 20 yards at that thing. It was 38 special, but she's like, I want the 357. I'm like, no, you don't. You're good with that 38 round in there, Mom. Trust me.
That's not a bad way to go, though. You know, buy too big so you can shoot the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to answer Doug here, Thompson. He sent us a message here. Said the same way in the oil field. If you carry on a well site or location, you can get reprimanded or fired, but yet they want you to protect their assets, but by not how you can. They just tell you to do it. It's like, and if there's any place you should be carrying, probably. I always did, and that was in the main. I mean, when the boom was booming, I was in the oil field a lot, doing well with the NRA. Let's just face it, we had a lot of donors in that area from the oil companies.
Good
so I was
ones,
up there quite a bit.
Real good ones.
Like $20.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
but yet they don't transfer it to their employees. I mean,
no.
Because you know what they're thinking? Hey, these roughnecks, but the roughnecks aren't getting out of hand unless they're in a bar freaking getting boozed. And you can't legally you can't carry in a bar anyways if you're drinking. So
and I don't know, you take like South Dakota, you can carry in a bar and grill if you can't be drinking, but if the profits from their business are 51% or more non-alcoholic sales, well, you take a place like a Texas Roadhouse, Longhorn, and by the way, they all do allow it down there. And I can tell that story some other day, but that's because of me, because I saw their signs, and I happened to be the rep at the time. And but I can tell you right now that in South Dakota, it's completely legal to carry in those places as long as you're not drinking, because their profits do come 51% or more than from the alcohol sales. And North Dakota, though, I think it's just you can't do it, right?
Boy, you know what?
I believe it's gaming and
I think
alcohol consumption. Yeah.
As long as there's alcohol being, I don't think you can. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it's like I can't.
I'm not supposed to follow it.
Just like I'm not supposed to carry in Kirkwood, but
well, you're not supposed to have a knife either with a longer than a 3. Any blade under 4 inches, right? I'm like, I got it. Yeah.
I got my Kershaw.
Hey, can I carry my soup can in here for what? In case I got to throw it at somebody, start shooting bullets at me.
I'm gonna get my black handled assault hammer.
Yes.
Yeah, kills more people than an AR-15 does every year.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
I
need to
think
start
people
carrying
watching
this.
would be fun. Sit at the mall, grab yourself an Orange Julius or whatever they make now. They just sit at the front door where they have those no gun signs and just count how many people smirk at that sign as they walk through the door.
You know,
I
that'd be
like
a
the
good
I
idea.
like the one in the city building here in Bismarck. It says no guns, and they got the line
Oh,
through it.
yeah.
And I look at it, and I'm like, no Glocks? Oh, I don't have a Glock, so
I don't have a Glock.
Who has that?
yeah, it looks just like a Glock, or like the old ones with the Beretta 92. I'm like, well, I don't have a 92, so we're good.
That don't
It's just
apply to me
like
at all.
Yeah,
most of the courthouses, like the ones in our area, they don't even have metal detectors. So how the hell would they know if I'm carrying or not? I
yeah,
imagine those up there do, though, huh? Sig,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
There you go.
You
Finally, a
know
smart
what?
man.
Axel does have the P365, and we were shooting out there, and I was pretty shocked at how accurate at 20 yards he was with that thing. I kind of gave him a double take. I was like, wow, there
You
you go. You
know,
got the old Glockazoid there.
I
Yeah.
got my Glock, got my block, but you know what? It'll do the job. That's my 10 millimeter.
You better keep that up so your dog don't chew on it.
Oh, I just keep the good ones are over there on the wall.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, Sig is making a lot of good stuff now. I mean, they're in my opinion probably the most innovative gun company right now as far as optics and everything. They're kicking A on stuff. It's awesome. P327 Equinox. What's that one, Dave? Is that a long barrel? Austin said that's what he likes. That's his favorite pistol.
Oh boy. Yeah, I always tell everybody you could sit in a circle with 5 other guys every day of the week and talk guns, and you'll learn something new with everybody every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very out of touch with my SIGs.
my
I'm a
favorite
bad
pistol.
representative for that.
my favorite pistol is I got the M&P 2.0 with the 5-inch barrel, and I put I'm pretty sure it's an Apex trigger I put in there, and man, that thing is. Oh yeah, that 45. Yeah, I shot that on 2A day once. That's right. That is a sweet handgun, Austin. I do like that. That thing is nice. But yeah, I got
Run the good old fashioned 45.
yeah.
I love my 45s. And I haven't, guys. I'm still a revolver guy. I do carry them from time to time.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
I just like shooting revolvers, and that's why you need 2 of them because you don't want to run out.
Yeah,
That's a love hate gun for me.
I got
It's
2 guns, one for each of you.
Oh, who's for you?
yeah, that revolver's a love hate gun for me. Unfortunately,
There you go.
I sure like it, but I can't hit nothing, so I'll have to
There he
use
is,
the
right
French
there.
glove.
Yep. See,
Yeah,
I got all my toys here. I can't ever do this show unless I'm here because
I
all the fun stuff.
I
here.
have preferences in guns, but it's cool to shoot any gun as far as I'm concerned.
Wow. I haven't met a bad gun yet.
Yeah. I mean, like
Well,
I told Clay
well,
before.
maybe.
I said I own plenty of FUD guns too, so I'm not just an AR guy. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
try
my
to think.
favorite. I just the way they fit in my hand, I like it, and But
The heck
what
are
was
the
that?
high
When were we
points?
talking? Yeah. What was that you was talking to about the 308s? Hunting with a 308, and I just got tired of carrying that cannon big anvil around. I was just like,
Yep.
but I got so mad with everybody saying you don't hunt with them, and I'm like, the hell you can't.
A lot of I know a lot of people that used to hunt with the 308, especially those guys that had served. Because you remember the 308s kind of was a handy round and a lot of conflicts.
I mean, I'm still a 308 man. For hunting up to 600 yards, it Creed's a little better ballistically, but I mean 30 cal. You go through figure out your ballistics and you get the right one. Like I guarantee you, when I was shooting that 150 Nosler, if there was a big buck at 600, I'd have been like, "You're going down, buddy."
I know
you
I've
might
got
be able to look through the other side, but it worked.
Yeah,
I've got that.
yep.
I've got that AR-10 and a 308, and I enjoy shooting that. The other one I use is a jack handle. I got no issue with the 308. That's a good
Austin
round.
had a bad experience with his 308. I will say it was probably the most inaccurate 308 I've ever seen in my life. It looked cool.
Oh,
it was like the Mossberg Tactical, and that thing. He couldn't. I've witnessed him shoot like 12, 15 different rounds and through that thing, and some of my reloads that worked great and everything, and he shot it, and I'm like, man, I don't know. go put that thing in a receiver hitch and bend that barrel in half or something.
Yeah, Eric,
got,
I know you use a 308 a lot, and I know he also uses a 7M 08, and I enjoy that. I have a 7M
That's a good one.
08, and I love that round. Heck with
Sorry, Austin. I didn't mean to bring back bad memories. I know that thing scarred you up. So
it. He's got scars.
his 270 works awesome though. For you got a nice Tika
Another good
270. Yeah,
Love my
yeah.
270.
I mean, as far as a non-Magnum caliber 270, my buddy John owns one, and I've seen that guy just, I mean, crush deer with that thing. It's awesome. I
Elmer
think
Keith.
270 is other than the 7mm mag for just like an all-around thing with available ammo. And I think 270 is number 2 to the 7mm mag. But
You ever read Elmer Keith's book?
Elmer
history
Flood?
on the
No, I
7 Rem
haven't.
mag?
What's that? What
The
was
history on
that?
the 7 Rem mag? You ever read that or see that?
I haven't. No, I haven't seen that one.
I want to say it's I read about it on Wikipedia, so that means it's accurate.
Oh, that's
The
truth.
story
It's
that I
gospel.
heard and read was the 7 Rem mag was created by an elk guide that was down in Wyoming and Montana border area.
Really?
And the problem was the 300 had too much of a lot of his guide members didn't like the recoil from the 300, and the 270 didn't seem to have the knockdown that they liked, so they kind of got caught in between. And I wish I could remember this guide that created it, but essentially he took a 300, necked it down to 7mm, and created this magical wildcat caliber. And some big shot from Remington ended up going to a hunting guide service down there, heard about it, and they paid him buco bucks, and that's how the 7 Rem mag was created. It was some guide in Montana/Wyoming.
Oh, dang.
Awesome.
I did not know it. See, you know what you're going to start with us, David. Now we're going to have book reviews every week.
Yes. Know your history.
Well, I tell you what, we're doing reviews. My buddy, he asked me if if you could just have one hunting caliber to be, and I told him 7mm mag, and then we went down to Shields, and he ended up buying Christensen Arms, and I zeroed it in for him, and he got this scope with the turrets on it. And I mean, that thing was awesome. I'd definitely do a review on that thing because that thing is.
So the next time he needs a gun, though, look Dave up and go to 1760 Sport.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Shameless plug there, David.
Yeah. Yes. Give me the plugs.
So,
for sure.
I like my 7mm as well. I have a 7mm mag. I've shot a lot of deer with that too. I don't know. I don't have every caliber, but I got a lot of them. I like the 7mm 08.
Little 7 mag.
There you go.
Not as powerful as the old lung blower, but there
Lung
it is.
blower.
I mean, that's some cartridges just look ugly. That's a good looking one right there, I think.
You want to see
kinda like
something
women.
ugly?
They're
I
kind of
gotta
like
Within
women.
my reach here.
Yeah,
Some of them got little necks and big bodies.
I got the Creed one. I think the Creed round is ugly with that big long
There you
godly
go.
bullet sticking out of there.
Oh, there you go.
Say
There
hello
you
to
go.
my
Look
fat
at
little
that.
friend.
Yeah, like
Say
that.
hello to my.
The old 4.58 SOCOM.
Awesome.
Fantastic little bush gun.
Actually,
that there.
Axel killed his hog with that down in Florida.
David, if you go with us down there the next trip, because I'm going to invite you, you should bring that.
Oh, that'd be a hoot.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
The way I built that
fall off
scary
the
black
buggy.
murder machine.
And the black murder machine.
That
weapon
I
of
tell you
war.
what, man. One of these days I'll have to get you guys on this thing. The recipe to success is as follows. I put some extra weight in the A2 stock to balance it out. I threw what the hell is that? The Silence Go Hybrid 46 on there with the anchor.
Oh yeah.
You can watch, if you shoot 200 yards or further, you can actually watch the bullet hit the target. It does not move.
Wow.
It's a fantastic build I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, this
one
is
thing
the
I
guy.
can definitely tell the public: do not go cheap when you go to build a 4.58 SOCOM, because there's so many guys that didn't want to pay the price for the reamer royalties. You will buy a $300 paperweight, and boy, will you be mad. I'm speaking from experience personally. Don't go cheap when it comes to a SOCOM
Was
build.
I up there that day when you were working on that? Yeah, you were having.
You
trouble.
might have been. I was playing with it a little bit. Oh yeah, I showed you a broken receiver. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I believe that. Yeah, and I can tell you this. if you guys want to have some fun, I know Jamie. He might be a fan of ARs. You two have got to meet. I mean, he only lives in Mandan, Jamie. Get together, and I bet you guys can work something. Who knows?
I'm always driving
Build.
past there to the Axel Rock Range, so
Yeah, there we go. You guys are gonna have to
There
get
you go.
together because I'm telling you, David's got a tremendous amount of knowledge when it comes to AR-15s. I look like an amateur to you two guys on those, that's for sure.
Oh, it's
yeah. I mean, I'm not
it's
a
like
pro,
a
but
Honda Civic. You just buy parts off the internet, put it on.
I just
yeah.
put it.
Well,
You
Makes
need
I
that
had a
turbo
bunch
kit. There you go.
yeah, I had a bunch laying around, and I just bought everything for it. The lower
Oh.
spring kit and the upper. I just it's all in my safe right now. I'm gonna put one together, and first thing I'm gonna do when I do it is once it's together and I got it zeroed, I think I'm just gonna leave a red dot on it, and then I'm gonna buy a bunch of watermelons and fill up some jugs, and I'm gonna get tracer rounds and just
That
about
reminds
as late
me.
as right now, and I'm just gonna start blowing shit up with it with the
What is the
tracers.
thing with you and watermelons? You hate them. What the hell? I
Oh.
love
Serious
watermelons.
hatred.
Because they taste like. I wish I liked them, but I don't. You know,
You know what you should do? You should write Brandon on them.
Little stickers or something. You know, put them on the forehead.
I did that. That's what I was
Oh.
editing your other video to AKs. When you were talking about the commies and the comrades and the Russians, I was
Get
gonna
'em with
put
the
some stuff
comm
in there,
block,
and I
Since
didn't
we're
have enough
talking
time.
about building
I wanted to find a
ARs,
picture of Wolverines and put it there. But,
since the conversation of building ARs is up on the table here, I'm looking at the definition of primary receiver that the ATF did on their glorious ruling for this year. The rule goes into effect August 24th of 2022. What a lot of people don't understand or follow on this is essentially anything you purchase prior to this date, and a lot of people order uppers, right? You know, go to your Palmettos or wherever you choose to order them. Those can be mailed to your house because they're not serialized.
right?
But come August 24th, upper receivers, slides, so on, need to be serialized, and you can no longer have them shipped to your house. So this is.
So you got to do a background check for them now.
Yep.
Jesus.
Exactly.
For every part.
So you hobbyist builders out there, you might want to get a little excited on ordering some stuff in a quick hurry because the 24th it goes into effect.
Well, I'm glad I got my stuff ordered then. What a joke. I mean,
7 days. Yeah. Well, that's the idea, guys. They can't win legislatively, so they're going to do it regulatorily, and this goes all the way back.
That's what this ruling with the EPA was supposed to stop. This crap.
Yeah. Someone will have to challenge it in court.
It's gonna have to go to court. Yeah, and 3 freaking years later.
I'm trying to remember. Did Gun Owners of America actually file suit on that? But here's the problem: it starts out in your lower courts, and then it's got to work its all the way up to the Supreme Court. And like you said, 3 years later, you get a ruling.
Story, but I'll save it till Monday. Some judge in Minnesota already pretty much told Thomas to shove it with your extra scrutiny crap on Second Amendment stuff. So, which they predicted. They don't give a damn what court says what they're going to do it, and
well, they know they can challenge and do it and tie it up in court, and that's what they want to do. They want to make you give up.
Yeah.
But well, yeah. Speaking of that, I guess before we probably should think about ending here.
Yeah, I got another kid coming home pretty soon too, and another one is chasing a cricket around behind me. I'm like, "What are you doing?" When I took my earmuffs, there's a cricket here, Dad. Well, don't worry,
Jamie and I are going to be guest host and filling in for Talk of the Town on 1270 a.m. Super Talk over there in Mandan.
You bet.
On Monday morning, Monday Gun Day. So if you want to tune in, we'll be on at 9 o'clock Central, 8 Mountain Time, and that's a 2-hour show. And we usually have a little fun over there.
Oh, yeah. Good time doing that all the time.
It's a great show.
Yep, thank you. It's fun.
If your radio sucks like mine usually does, the app works fantastic.
The app works great.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's not your radio.
Super Talk app.
Their signal is very weak. I have a lot of people complain about that, and most people I know just listen on the app, get it over with that way.
They don't have a big antenna.
No. Get a salt gun. Yeah, there you go. Good idea, Waylon. I actually get one for the kids. I'm gonna get one for myself.
Yes.
I heard they work pretty damn good. Yeah.
You can knock a fly off. I mean, boom, it's a lot of fun.
And I mean, killing a cricket when they're annoying you it's pretty
Oh, yeah.
satisfying. I got to be
That
honest.
is the best way to season meat on the barbecue, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
It might be
Just-
spicy in some spots, but it works.
Just fill it up with some rub and start hammering on it. That's...
Oh yes, yes. I might know a guy that's done that.
You just might.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to check out. If you guys are gonna hang on, I gotta blow doors here.
I think we can call this one a wrap. I want to thank David for coming on. I think it was.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate
we
it.
might not
buddy.
have been as exciting as we usually are, but we were working through some technical.
Well, when you got
problem.
when you got technical difficulties going, what do you do?
Yeah.
It was
The-
still. I'm sorry. It was
Dull
all
guy
right.
showing up.
All right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
guys, tune in again next week, same time, midnight, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 Central. We may go an hour, or like tonight, an hour and a half. Hopefully, all the streams work. And you know what?
Yeah.
If you guys want some subjects, let us know. We got plenty of things to talk
Absolutely.
about, but we'd love
Give
to
them,
tackle
give them the
anything you got.
email, Clay, just in case they didn't know what it is. If they want us to talk about something.
Guns and the 701 at protonmail.com. And
Or if you know Clayton and I, feel free to send us an email or on our Facebook
text
page.
us.
Yep.
If you know me, you probably got my text number. So, and
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
I'll
me
be
too.
in Grant County this weekend up at Carson for the Grant County Fair. David's actually our FFL dealer for the gun we're giving away up there. We thought we were sold out, but I'm not going to go into the details. We're going to have a few tickets on that gun. I'm telling you guys, that baby is sweet. And
You got that piece handy, Clayton?
I do. I got tell you what. Give me 1 minute. I'll go get it.
You gotta go get it. That is.
All right. Well, Clay's going to get
beautiful, beautiful
I'll just
piece.
let everybody know I'm heading back up to the farm this weekend, so I plan on doing a couple gun. I'm actually gonna do a gun test of accuracy and whatnot with what I was talking about that earlier. My Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. I'm gonna do that, and I'm probably gonna have a PCC up there from my buddy Wyatt's a Banshee. So
I got to see all my junk there, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a good thing you were wearing pants this time.
I don't know how this is gonna work up here.
Well, I see you got some kind of
I think you gotta hold it
1911 or
further down to your
38
chest there.
Super or something there.
There we go.
There you go.
That is our North Dakota Farm Bureau, Grant Sioux County 2022 gun, 1911. Got the 24 karat gold engraving. This is the Second Amendment edition coming out of A&A Engraving, guys. And this baby's sweet. I thought we were sold out. But like I said, and I'm not going to go into why. David probably knows, but we do have a few tickets that are going to be available there. Not a lot. So if you stop by on Friday or Saturday, and I've got some, be your lucky day at $20 a piece, and we're gonna give it away on
How many
Saturday.
selling?
We sold 400.
Okay, well that's pretty good odds of winning then.
It is. If I counted up right, I think we got like 24 or 25 tickets left is all. So
awesome.
One thing to mention is the guys down at A&A Engraving, they don't intend on making this piece a talking piece or a mantle special.
No, you can use
They
it.
expect these guns to work.
Good.
And I do believe they stand behind their work. Clayton knows them very well. I've briefly visited with them.
They're great guys.
Fantastic work.
Yeah, I can't say enough about them guys down there. They do a fantastic job. And yeah, Mark Armstrong, he's the owner. Of course, he's getting where he's kind of semi-retired. Probably never will fully retire with him, guys. But his kids are very involved with it down in Rapid City. They do a fantastic job. I know that up there in Mercer County, they got one as well that we had grips put on. That's a Kimber two-tone. Another nice gun. And then their grips are a little different. And I like them. I might use a set of them next year.
Hell yeah, I'll be going Mercer County Friday, nice. Baby. I'm always representing Mercer County.
There we go. And
Western.
I don't know if they're sold out, but I think they were pretty close to being sold out last time I talked to Reed up there. But yeah, we got some gun raffles going on in the Farm Bureau, and imagine that. I brought gun raffles to an organization.
Good.
Good.
But all right, guys. Well, with that, I guess we're going to sign off for tonight. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and hanging in. Thanks again to David with 1760.
Good talking to you, fellas.
Yes,
thanks
was
for
good.
having me in.
And we'll be back.
Everybody who's hung in there with us.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. So
you bet.
We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good weekend, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you.
Take care.